does a home inspection factor into the process of buying or selling a home? Let's find out on What Works Now.
AOL Real Estate, helping you find out what works now.
We all know that problems with a home can mean big bucks in repairs. And despite our best efforts, we may not be able to identify these problems ourselves. That's why, particularly when buying or selling a home, it's critical to have a home inspection. Simply put, a home inspection is an examination and assessment of the condition of a home. Here's how it works. Usually, a real estate agent works with a seller to determine an asking price for a home. A potential buyer then comes along and makes an offer. At that point, the buyer then brings in an inspector to examine the condition of the home.
Hi, I'm Kenny Rhodes. I'm a licensed home inspector. My job as a professional home inspector is to evaluate a building's mechanical systems, structural integrity, and safety items, and deliver that information to my client. Basically, I'm looking for defects that the layman may not necessarily notice. It's my job to find them, and I'll make certain that I do.
Prepare yourself. This is going to be a very thorough process. Usually, whoever brings in the inspector, in most cases the buyer, tags along for the whole thing. For an average house, this investigation typically takes 3 to 4 hours.
Hey Stacy, you ready to go up in the attic?
Yep, you lead the way.
Let's go.
So how does it look up there?
So the thing we're looking for up here is insulation value. The insulation is about 6 inches of fiberglass, which really isn't that bad. However, new construction would have 10 inches, and that's going to make a big impact on the long term for your heating and cooling costs. I'm also looking around for any signs of leakage. I don't see any leaks.
So I'm getting the sense this isn't really a pass-fail sort of examination.
It really isn't pass-fail. What it is the conditions that are currently observable. And you know, a lot of times I make suggestions, which are kind of get to it when you can, or recommendations, which is a much more powerful way of saying you need to do this and that. So forget about the pass-fail, but I'll tell you what you need to be thinking about.
For an average home, the basic home inspection can run approximately $300 to $400. Now keep in mind, an inspection is not actually required by law, and the inspector is not a code official who has to report his findings to the local municipality. However, it is strongly recommended that a buyer get this done. I mean, who wouldn't want to know exactly what he is buying?
Ready to go downstairs and look at the basement?
With such a thorough examination at hand, you may be wondering about how to make sure you have the right person for the job. How do you recommend a buyer find the right professional?
Well, there are many ways to do that, and the first person is probably your realtor. Start with them, and then you want to make a call and you want to get a feel for them over the phone. Do they sound knowledgeable? That's a good place too. Now, there are several national organizations that one can belong to, and most of the states have modeled their standards against those organizations. So, realtors, interview your candidates over the phone, look at these national organizations, and ask a friend that recently bought a house.
So what happens when the day is through? The inspector compiles the data, and within a day or two, a report is submitted to the buyer or whoever commissioned the job. So remember, with a good home inspection, you should have the right information to decide what your next move should be.
For more great videos, log on to realestate.aol.com.